I think everybody knows that YouTube has a lot of problems. It seems like every few months there's always some big new scandal about, I don't know, YouTube demonetizing this or adpocalypse. And the most recent one happened to a really large creator, Markiplier. And it's kind of a big deal for a couple reasons that I'm going to talk about, more than it may seem on the surface. So basically, he made this video recently talking about, it's called YouTube Has a Huge Problem, and he explains how he was doing a live stream a couple days ago, and in the live stream he basically was allowing viewers to vote, and I believe it might have been specifically for paying members only, which makes it even more egregious what happened. So basically he was allowing people to vote by just posting emojis. So he'd say, if you want to do this, post the green emoji. If you want to do this, post the red emoji. And people were doing this, and they were posting maybe like 15, 20 emojis to like get their comment more seen in the same comment. And then these people were getting their accounts banned because of this for no other reason, apparently, than literally just posting emojis. Google's spam system seemingly picked up on this and banned people's YouTube accounts. And when they tried to appeal, they were denied. But what's even worse, he goes into this talking about how it's not just people's YouTube accounts. He goes through some examples. This one's like in German, so this is like all over the world. He even talks about, I'll try to find it. These are examples of the emojis people are posting. It's nothing crazy. People do this on Twitch all the time. I mean, this is not anything to even look twice at, but it's also people's entire Google account is being banned for this. So imagine posting emojis in a live stream chat and then having your entire Google account being banned. So this is an example of someone who got an email notification that their entire Google account was suspended. It says your Google account, whatever at Gmail, is now disabled. It looks like it was being used in a way that violated Google's policies. The most vague possible explanation. There is no explanation. It's just your account's banned, deal with it. And it says, we understand your account is important to you, no crap. It says, if you think this was a mistake, sign into the disabled account and submit a request to restore it. You'll need to do this soon because disabled accounts are eventually deleted along with your emails, contacts, photos, and other data stored with Google. And this is the craziest thing. I mean, think about how many people use their Gmail and Google account for everything. Your bank might be using that email address. Your work might be using that email address, like your school. I mean, how much stuff is tied to your email account? It's literally everything these days. So Google, not just your YouTube account, that would be one thing, bad enough, but your entire Google account. This is absolutely insanity. Now, there was another case, you can't really see it here, but this is an example of someone who had their YouTube account suspended, they appealed it, and then 30 minutes afterwards, their account was resuspended, which I don't know what this says about YouTube's backend system other than it's completely broken. And the problem with YouTube is they really have like a complete black box system. They don't explain anything behind the reasoning. They say, yeah, your account was suspended. If you're lucky, they may give a high level reason like, oh, spam or harassment or something like that, but they will never ever tell you the specific reason, wording, or whatever. They just don't do it. So when you go to appeal, you have, I believe, the opportunity to explain why you were wrongly appealed, why you should be reinstated, but you don't know why it was in the first place, so you can't even address it fully. It's absolutely insane. Now, there's a lot of issues with YouTube. I'm not going to pretend to have all the answers, and he makes a good point, the point I would agree with, which is that really too much of YouTube's system is just automated. But the real problem, I think, is that even these cases of appeals, they're supposed to be human reviewed. And I think the problem is, I don't know how YouTube's review and appeal system works. I think they just employ freelancers around the world, probably paying them not very much at all to do these reviews. You don't know if these are like minimum wage people in third world countries who are just trying to submit as many decisions as possible to get paid all day. They might not even be actually looking at it at all. And I don't know how many people they have looking at these. I would very much hope that they have at least a couple people as like a consensus, so it's not like one person deciding it. Or I would think that the appeal would have to go to like a higher trained level, but apparently this is not working because these people literally all they did was post an emoji and then they got banned. And the problem is these people were like paying members. So it's not like these were just spam accounts. They were people who were like paying $5 a month to this channel as a member for over a year in some cases, and still their account was disabled. Do I have the solution for YouTube? Obviously not, but I think they absolutely need to look at their system again. They need to specifically look at the appeal process because these people are having their appeals denied. Like they're specifically having their appeals denied after this ridiculous suspension. So I don't know who they have reviewing these. I would be not even surprised if they are saying that they're reviewing these and they're not actually, because YouTube, look, they do have a huge problem. They have millions and billions of users, literally, probably a lot of people getting suspended where it is almost impossible to have enough manpower and well-trained manpower to actually look at these. And so if you don't have a ton of subscribers, or you're not getting a signal boost from someone with 24 million subscribers, then you're just kind of screwed. And YouTube, they do not give a crap. They do not give a single crap. I'm going to try and find the tweet. They were tweeting at Team YouTube, who's on Twitter. So here's where they actually replied on Twitter. They say, appeals are carefully reviewed. If your appeal is rejected, there's nothing more you can do. Basically, screw you. And if like YouTube actually had a good system of reviewing appeals, it would be one thing. But they clearly have demonstrated countless times that their system is broken. There are people who their appeals denied. They might go on the forum, you know, the squeaky wheel gets the grease or whatever the expression is. And after like a lot of people making noise, then they're eventually suspended. It's like, or unsuspended. So it's like, well, why did they have to make a bunch of noise and go through all this process and for an appeal nonetheless? It's like one thing if you got banned, you make a lot of noise and then you get unbanned, but it's like you should have not had to ever do that. And there were probably a lot of people who have their account suspended and then they can't do that. Like they just don't have enough clout or whatever. So there is one solution. I mean, I would recommend everyone have their own like domain. I made a video mentioning this, but people were mad because it was a sponsored video. So I'll say it again in this video, where you should probably have your own web domain and use an email address on that. And you can even use G Suite. It's a paid thing now where it's like $10 a month, but you can pay and basically use your own domain as your email address, and you can hook it up to whatever email service you want, including G Suite, so you get the whole Google experience. It's like a Google account, just with your own domain. That way, you might have your Google account suspended, but they can never take away your domain. So if your Google account is suspended, you can just redirect your emails to now go to a different email provider like Zoho Mail. I think Proton Mail. I'm assuming they do allow you to use your own domain. That way you can never have your actual email address banned, because if you're banned with a Google account and they don't reinstate it, that Gmail account is just gone. You can't imagine how many people might send you emails from now on and you can't reply. You can't tell them to change it. How many password recovery things use your email account? It's absurd. I honestly think that there is going to be a big shakeup in the tech world where these tech companies are becoming so ubiquitous and important to our lives. It's like they might be regulated as a utility where you can't have your email account banned, or they will be forced to give you some sort of option to move it to another service, because this should be illegal. It absolutely should be illegal to have your Google account banned that you use for anything, even if you violate their terms of service, even if you screw something up, you do some spam, you make a mistake. It's like, what if someone actually was using that? And you could say, tough luck. You shouldn't have been breaking Google's policies. But in cases like this, it's really for the consumer protection. It's like maybe they weren't doing anything and their appeal was denied, and now their entire life might be upended because of they can't access their email address, which is really something that is almost like your home being taken away. Like, imagine if someone just came to your home and like, you're banned from living in this plot of land, and you not only are banned, but also you can't receive mail, you can't use your mail address. I don't know. I think you get the idea. Yeah, there's not much more to say about this other than just be careful. Maybe don't use emojis in live chat anymore, he's suggesting. I'm sure this will be looked at very heavily at this point, but you don't know when the next time will happen to a smaller amount of people. It's just ridiculous. I think really, again, the only way to protect yourself is to have your own domain, and I'm not going to get into that today, but there's processes online you can look up how to do it. Like Squarespace is another sponsor of me, Hostinger, I made a sponsored video. There's a lot of services out there that will help you get set up, make it very easy. Usually it's paid. I don't think G Suite offers a free version anymore unless you're grandfathered in, but it's just scary stuff. There's not much more to say about it. If you guys like this video, definitely like and share, because again, I'm trying to get this channel off the ground again. I haven't posted in a while, so if you like this video, genuinely, please like it, because that will tell their algorithm that you like the channel and want to receive more. It's not like that would help promote to other people outside subscribers, but if you watch the video, you like it, you'll get it more often. So anyway, thanks so much for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next video.